Hey guys, how's it going? First off, I just want to apologize for my drawing here. The real video should have been watching me try and draw this thing. It took, oh my gosh, forever. I've got no artistic ability. I think we could have gotten 1 million views just watching how pathetic it was watching me struggle here. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is just abs and building core. This is something a lot of people who are coming into the gym are looking for. They want the defined abs. And then they're kind of going at the training with the wrong perspective. So I just want to clear a few things up. So what I'm trying to show through this diagram here is just the different areas of what we consider our core. And we're going to focus just on the front side. Even though we know the core is really a whole system of things, we're going to simplify it as much as we can. Just for the sake of helping you figure out how we need to go about training your core for the abs and the results you're actually looking for. So we have our rectus abdominis, but then the real big part of the core is everything that really supports this, which is the transverse abdominis and our internal and external obliques. They're going to be more on our sides. So when people think of abs, they really are thinking of the six-pack, which is really kind of more of an 8-pack thing. So what we want to do is just change how we're thinking of this and understand what we need to do to train the right way. So you have probably seen people out there that have the really defined six-pack and then they're pudgy down here. So those would be people doing a bunch of just crunches. Okay, head forward, probably shoulder lean forward this way. A bunch of crunches, and they're developing abs as a standalone thing, purely for aesthetics. Remember, everything we're trying to do in here, we're trying to balance aesthetics, joint and tissue health, performance, and overall health and wellness. So what we want is we want you to be able to get those defined six-pack abs, but we also want you to have the structures in place around it to make you truly functional. So how do we do that? Let's talk about how we brace again. Draw your lower abs in. Hold a Kegel, so flex your pelvic floor muscles. Squeeze your butt cheeks, twist your feet in the floor to support your hip. Get our rib cage pulled down. Stand as tall as you can with that rib cage down. Rotate the shoulders. So what this is going to do, if we make every single movement have that priority on posture, use that to set up our squat, push-up, jump, and link every single movement back to it. Every single movement you're doing should be using the whole structure we're talking about here. So we should be using the lower abs so we don't have that pudgy look and we get that nice defined V that a lot of people are looking for. But we're also building up the obliques and the transverse abdominis to really truly be strong. We're also gonna work these muscles. So first key is making sure that we're not gonna develop you in a way that's gonna cause back problems. Usually we see super tight fronts of the neck, which rip on shoulders. So when we develop abs with such a core focus of aesthetics only, the one thing it does is it actually misses out on the true aesthetics we're looking for. But it also sets up dysfunctional movement patterns that can be really detrimental. So as we're doing sit-ups, as we're doing core work, and as we're working out, just doing back squats and burpees and all these other things, we just want to make sure that the way we're tying everything in is functional for what we're doing in. It's all linked together. That's what we always talk about. So now with that said, and we have our mindset, so now when we're doing crunches, we want to open up that range of motion, make sure we're initiating through the lower abs, and through the pelvic floor as we get the whole system working together. So it doesn't really matter the exercise. What matters is how we're bracing. What happens a lot is people start doing things like planks, dead bugs, hollow holds, and all of these other things that are apparently more functional, but we can do all of those movements wrong, poof our belly out by using only our transverse abdominis, overload the hip flexors here, when all of those exercises are good if we're flexing and bracing the right way. So really, it's not about the exercise, it's about the purpose and why you're doing the exercise and how you're coordinating the movement. And again, we want to coordinate everything back through posture, squat, push-up, jump, because that's ultimately what's going to build us in a way that's extremely functional but really aesthetically pleasing also. So abs, they're a smaller muscle group, which means we can work them more during the week, which is good because we use them every single day when we're doing it. So if we're really looking to get the definition, then what we are going to need to do is add in maybe 1 to 3 days. I would start with just 1 day a week and kind of work your way into it. But 1 day a week of extra accessory work. So what that accessory work is going to look like is more like classic bodybuilding style. Like 3 sets of 8 to 20 reps. And what we're looking for is something that gets hard, okay? So there's really no magic in the exact number. So if you get to 20 and it was easy, stopping at 20 is not going to be good. If you're at 8 and your goal was to go to 15 and you're almost failing on reps, we don't want to keep going over. Remember, the right amount's the right amount. We're looking for hard sets. Typically that is like 1 or 2 reps shy of failure, and that's what makes the sets hard. What we're also looking for to really get the definition is we want to take advantage of a principle called overloading. So what happens is people use sit-ups, and we do sit-ups, and then the next week to overload. Basically what overloading means is we need to be able to do something harder than we've ever done before. The way we overload sit-ups is by doing more sit-ups and doing more sit-ups until very quickly you get to the point where you have to do hundreds of sit-ups to get the same overloading response that we're looking for. So that's just kind of a waste of time. So we want to pick movements, and the best movements to develop core, we want to pick movements where we can overload with weight. And then that way it's easier and easier to do. So GHD sit-ups, ab mat sit-ups, regular sit-ups holding a weight now allows us to easily overload. We can keep the reps in this 8 to 20 range, mainly for time's sake. And then we can still focus on everything tying it in together. And then week after week, we can go on little cycles where we work up in weight, using the same exercises for 3 to 5 weeks. Switch exercises, work up in weight, and keep going through little cycles like this as we really build our core. All right, so the other big piece is we can build these muscles up a ton, and if we've got a bunch of body fat over this, you're not going to get the aesthetic results that you're looking for. So the other piece that is extremely important for abs is our whole pyramid that we talk about with nutrition, sleep, non-exercise activity, and actual exercise in a way that's going to burn fat. So what we like is that high intensity functional exercise. So don't overlook those things. Remember, when we're talking about results, it's all of these things. We can't just exercise to get the results we're looking for. We got to tie that whole lifestyle in together. So if you're really serious about abs, we got to tie the lifestyle in together. We got to brace the proper way. That way every movement you are doing in the gym and all day, every day, as I'm talking to you now, I am working on my abs and bracing my core. And we want to come up with strategies where we can add in a little bit extra work every now and then in a way where we can overload the exercise. The one additional thing I want you to think about here is we don't want to go heavy and blow your abs up before we jump into the next day's workout where you're going to really need your abs to brace. So I like to choose when I'm going to do my overloading accessory work on days where I know the following day is going to be a rest day. That way I can really get aggressive, do my sets, and then I've got a day to recover my core before I really need it. Because we don't want you to blow your muscles up and have that put you in a compromised position on the next day just because you were trying to focus on the aesthetics. All right? Hang in there, chip away, be nice and consistent with abs. It'll come. Talk to you soon.